let's find out who else was down there at Occupy. One of the other members of the Chicago 7 was Tom Reardon. Here we see Tom with his buddy Paul Michael Glaser, and of course this would be his brother-in-law Henry Winkler, and that's Henry Winkler's sister, of course, Paul Michael Glaser's wife, who supposedly died, Elizabeth Glaser, but of course we know that that's Henry Winkler's sister, Bea.
Bob Jacobs, where were you? What were you filming, and where were you?
I was officer in charge of optical instrumentation at Vandenberg Air Force Base from 1963 to 66. And our job was to photograph with high-speed instrumentation every missile launch from Vandenberg going down the test range.
I'll save you. This is the Disclosure Project, and these guys are actors. All of them are talking about an alien spaceship coming in, shooting a warhead out of the sky, and talking about how they shut down the nuclear missile silos without them knowing that they were doing it, and the aliens did it. So it's a bunch of crap. But if you remember that this person here is also Richard Katzgar from Pima County Sheriff's Department. And don't forget he also plays the DA in the John Benet Ramsey case and a couple other characters as well. So just watch the other parts of this video and you'll see them in detail. I hope by now you're realizing that the world is a much better place than what they've tricked us into believing it was and is. And just to imagine what the world is actually like, minus these individuals and their lies. Another lie at that time was the Weather Underground. This clip is from a portion of the real story of the Weatherman Underground, but it's nothing but a real lie. As we see the person that is in disguise is now exposed, and at occupied Wall Street with the rest of the individuals that were involved in the fake events of that time and that fake political Weather Underground movement. And who, of course, could forget the Jessica Watts from APEC that plays the new and improved Gabby Giffords. And we all know that Gabby Giffords doesn't exist as a real person, since we proved that by the records in the National Archives and Thomas Registry. So let's move into the more political end of this lie and see some other individuals that I think you'll find most interesting. Remember the person that gave me the nasty look at the Dallas Occupied event that I was photographing down there, and I was exposing the week before all the players in this Occupied movement, and of course they're tied to Soros. This is his ear. I want you to pay close attention to it. I'm going to be laying another ear over top of it, and they match, and you'll see exactly who this person is. Yeah, well, that was Gary Johnson, presidential candidate Gary Johnson. And then I found him, of course, at the Rockefeller's Beach House with his brothers Jeffrey Katzenberg and Michael Linton and Richard Sexton, who is married to Jennifer Greenberg Sexton. So when you see them all together, and of course, you know Jeffrey Katzenberg is the CEO of DreamWorks and Michael is the CEO of Sony, and they're all at their relative's beach house, David Rockefeller Jr., you know there's a serious situation going on here. This is much larger than we've ever even imagined. And in fact, it goes even further back than we thought. Now, Gary Johnson was also down at Occupied Wall Street. He played a role of a police officer down there. Here he is.
With the interest, I don't... It's kind of fun to see,
well, you know,
but I don't understand exactly what's going on. What they want, it's anarchy. So, I don't know. That's what we do. Wall Street is an interesting concept. Wall Street is Main Street in America. Wall Street is kind of the spear point for capitalism. We finance things. That's all we do. We take a guy who has a good idea in a garage and wants to turn it into something.
And I'm sure you remember this punk from 9/11, also from the G20, and of course Occupied.
Nobody helped create jobs. If you don't get jobs, then you really...
Take notice to his earlobes. Has a prosthetic attachment. It's a foam rubber latex attachment that attaches to the bottom of the ear. They make them for the top of the ear or the bottom of the ear. It's very difficult to change the inside of the ear. But as before, we could see that he had the operation done to his lobe to change it before. Now he's doing this again to try to disguise who he is.
Really unemployed, so...
Where's Wall Street been for the last 10 years?
Well, you can't look where Wall Street's been for the last 10 years. You got to look where Wall Street's been for the last 200 years. And there's 300 million people in this country, and as of 4 years ago, the unemployment rate was 4.5%.
How can it's always...
Hold on. It's not your show, monkey. I'm talking to these people. Hold on. I'm not talking to you. Monkey, I'm not talking to you.
Notice the prosthetic on the bottom image.
Get on the sidewalk.
Hey! Whoa!
Get on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
I did.
Oh my God!
Hey, what's your badge number?
Yeah. What's your badge number? You just grabbed my arm.
What's your badge number? Yeah, you shoved her into me
What's
too.
Your name? What's your
badge number? Hey, sir, you're a public servant. Sir, you're a public servant.